And it's accompanied by Indonesian traditional musical instruments, gamelan. It looks like xylophones, but come in different sizes, so it will have the different notes. And also accompanied by singers named Sinden. It's a very specific kind of voice and very specific kind of words and sing. It's very high-pitched voice. I try, but I fail because it's very high. And the words wayang itself, there are some beliefs about that. The first one is from the word mayang from Java, which means the land of the spiritualism. The other words, wayang, means shadow, and the wayang is the first form of wayang is of course the shadow wayang or shadow puppets. And all the themes, the story themes, symbolizing the spiritualism, the human cycle of life, the spiritual realism, and also morality and a human cycle of life, and also the cosmic order of universe. And wayang believed to be found before the 10th century, because we can find wayang action at the wall of one of the temple, the Prambanan temple, which built in the 9th century. So, to make it quick, there's 4 kinds of very famous wayang. Actually, so many types, but we'll talk about 4 for today. The most famous one is the wayang kulit, or the shadow puppets, and then wayang golek, or road puppets. We have some of the sample here. And then we have also wayang beber, scroll puppets, or wayang wong. This wong means human, and it's the interpretation of the wayang kulit to become a full body of human. So let's talk one by one. Wayang kulit, or the shadow puppets. This is the very famous one. It's very elaborative, intricate, two-dimensional, flat puppets with color and heart. So you will see like this, and it's made from the buffalo hides. It has the joint for the hand, so it can move like human move. And wayang orchestrated and controlled by dalang. Dalang is the puppeteers, and the dalang will have the way the wayang presented. It has a very big wide screen, and the puppeteers will put the wayang in each side of him in the order that he already knows, and it has a light, a source of lights behind from the puppeteers, the dalang, and all the gamelan and the singer will be behind him. The audience will be inside of the screen, because you will only see the shadow. That's why the name is the shadow puppets. The shadow itself means more than just shape. The shadow means the unseen world, the hidden truths of life. Because wayang is full of the philosophical symbolism, and the middle structure called gunungan. Gunung is mountain in Japanese because it looks like a mountain. It has a very, very special throat, when the performance start and end, they always start with the gunungan. The gunungan has two faces. The one that you always see, it has like a palace and then guards, and then you have forests and wild animals, domesticated animals. You can see flowers, fauna and flora. This is the symbol of the life, the living space that we are all living in. And it looks very nice because that's what we want to show to everyone, how nice our tradition is. But the other side, behind it, is full with the fire, volcanoes, demon, evil, because that's the part that everybody wants to hide. And that's the dark part that everyone wants to not show to other people. And the wayang performance, it takes the whole night. Usually about 9 hours, start at 8 p.m. until about 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. No interruption in between. And the master puppeteers will be the one who control everything, make sure that everybody sit down and hear and keep interesting. And the story usually about the epic Hinduism, Ramayana or Mahabharata, but also the local folklores or the local culture or local current issues. But in the Dutch colonial era, because Indonesia was colonized by Dutch for hundreds of years, the wayang performance was used as the way of forwarding the secret code or war strategies or information about where next. And also on the when Islam came to Indonesia, to Java, they used wayang as the vessels to transport all the Islam teaching. And also wayang also used as the campaigning ways or propaganda, things like that. There was time when finally the Dutch realized what actually happened behind the wayang. So there was time when wayang was banned for the people. So that's about wayang kulit, and that's the one that's very, very famous. The second one will be the wayang golek, wayang the rod puppets is a three-dimensional form of wayang, and it has the joint also, and the dalang. It has dalang who also control, and the dalang, both the wayang, the shadow puppets and the rod puppets. The one who narrates, who voices, who controls the whole performance. And he can voice any characters that can be maybe the dainty, delicate, flirty ladies, or very mean man-eater giant, or old people, even the jester that always in the kingdom. So the master puppeteers has to be able to do all of those, and to make sure that all the audience keep engaged. The wayang golek, most of the time, they have the same characters like wayang shadow puppets, but the story that was forwarding to the audience most of the time more to the current issues or the anecdotal events or the jokes. It's more fun and more entertaining. And then after this, we have wayang bebet. Wayang beber, beber means thread. It means scroll puppets because it is from, we will have a very long scroll of paper or leather with all the picture of the story, and the puppets, the dalang will narrate the story while showing, rolling, unrolling the scroll. And the story for the wayang beber very specific. It's not from the not from the Mahabharata or Ramayana the whole, but only one episode about sacrificing for love. This is the story about a princess who falling in love with a commoner and all the things, tragedy around that. And wayang beber is very, very hard to find now. Usually nowadays we only can find at the sacred or ritual event, and the original scroll we only can find 3 now. One is in East Java, one is in Central Java, and one is in Leiden in Netherlands. So Dutch took some of ancient cultures with them, but they preserved them very well. And the last one is Wayang Wong, the human version of wayang. So Wayang Wong, the interpretation or the evolving form of wayang kulit, the shadow, to the human, the full human body. This was the request of the Sultan because they want to have a more interesting, more interactive performance, and as many characters as it needs in one theme. There's as many people working on that. And the wayang Wong means very heavily up, beautiful and intricately up. So because it takes time, it takes effort, so they created the wayang with the mask. So we call it still wayang Wong, not wayang topeng. The purpose of the mask is number 1, to avoid the heavy up, and number 2, to avoid too many people in the scene, because one person can work or can take the many roles. So in front of you today, some of you will have wayang shadow. Nowadays, we can have some woods for the decorative purposes, and some of you has the mask. So please, this is for you to bring home. This is for you to color. This is for you to create. And please be creative and make that your character.